polytheism to creep in once again. The next prophet about whom the Quran mentions is Hud alayhi salam. It is reported that Hud alayhi salam was a descendant of Nuh alayhi salam. He belonged to the ancient civilization known as Ad. The people of Ad were situated in the hills between Oman and Yemen. Their capital city is believed to have been the city called Iram. The name of this city is mentioned in Surah Al-Fajr. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi'ad Iram dhatil imad. Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with Ad of Iram, the city of lofty pillars? It was a civilization unlike any other. Allah had blessed Ad and its people. He provided them with fertile land and abundant agriculture, many children, an ample supply of livestock, and easy access to water resources. The people themselves were described as very tall, strong, and well built. In many ways, Ad could be described as a society much like many of the opulent societies we find that exist today. There was an excess of wealth, and the proud, arrogant people were not at all satisfied with fulfilling their basic needs. They wanted more. They began to build towers and dwellings merely to display their wealth, and they accumulated worldly possessions as if they were a people destined to live forever. They lived in fine homes on the flat coastal land, yet they built huge homes on the mountains, and they didn't even live in it. They built them to boast and brag and compete with each other. The gifts that Allah had bestowed upon them made them arrogant and made them forget their duties and their ultimate return to Allah Almighty. They became so arrogant that it drove them to say, it's mentioned in the Quran, they said, who is stronger than us? Allah Almighty says in the Quran in response to that question, do they not realize that Allah who created them in the first place is stronger than them? So the rulers and leaders of Ad were powerful tyrants. Satan was among them and made their deeds seem fair seeming to them. Their arrogance and pride grew, and the worship of idols became prevalent. They were the first people to engage in shirk, polytheism, after the people of Nuh alayhi salam. So Allah Almighty sent them a messenger from amongst their own people to remind them to be grateful to Allah and to worship Him alone. Hud alayhi salam said to his people, O my people, worship Allah alone, for you have no God besides Him. Do you not fear Him? And the elite from amongst his people responded by saying, we regard you as crazy and as a liar. Hud alayhi salam said, O my people, I am not crazy, but I am a prophet from the Lord of the worlds, and I am an honest advisor to you. Has it surprised you that your Lord has sent you a reminder through a person from amongst you to warn you? Remember that He has made you heirs after Nuh alayhi salam and granted you more in terms of physical ability than them. Remember the gifts of Allah upon you so that you may succeed. Hud alayhi salam told his people to turn to Allah in repentance so that they could be given more than they had, and at the same time they would earn the pleasure and happiness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now these reminders meant nothing to them. It fell on deaf ears. in the manner of arrogant people throughout time, the people of Ad looked at Hud alayhi salam with contempt. Then they looked around and found that they were the most powerful nation in existence. They were so well to do that they felt that they were above every law of Allah. They even began to oppress the weak and the poor. Whenever Hud alayhi salam told them to obey Allah and fulfill the rights of fellow humans, they would laugh at him, saying that he was an ordinary human being who ate the same food as they eat and drank from what they drink. And they argued with Hud alayhi salam about the nature of the day of judgment. They believed that after death, the body turned to dust and was swept away by the wind. The people of Ad, much like many people today, believed that the purpose of life was to accumulate wealth, prestige, and possessions. When Hud made them confront the reality of their lives and pointed out that they were far from the one God, their arrogant chests swelled with pride, and they accused him of being mad. They wondered why a man who ate and drank just like them could have such a different view of life. With their eyes firmly fixed on wealth and luxury, the people of Ad convinced themselves that following Hud alayhi salam would mean that they too would they would have to change their style, their lifestyle, and they too would become crazy like him. And the Quran tells them as saying, is he promising you that after they address the ordinary people, the elite, is he promising you that after you die and you have disintegrated into dust and bones, that you are going to be resurrected? Very far it is that which you are promised. It is only the life of this world that we die and we live, and we are not going to be raised up. We are not going to be resurrected. And the people of Hud alayhi salam also accused him of being a liar again and again. And they said, إن هو إلا رجل يفترى على الله كذبا وما نحن له بمؤمنين. He is just a man who has invented a lie about Allah, and we will never ever believe him. And they argued that their forefathers did not come with what he has come with. Why he is going against their forefathers? Now, brothers and sisters, from this we learn that even if generations of ours have been involved in that which is incorrect, it does not mean that we need to engage in the same after knowledge has come to us. Why all these accusations on the best man on the earth? They were the chosen people, the prophets and messengers of Allah, just because the wealthy were not prepared to change their lifestyle. Hud alayhi salam continued reminding them of the countless favors Allah had bestowed on them. And we should remember that when Allah grants us in abundance, that does not mean that He is necessarily pleased with us. Or if He grants us somewhat little, it doesn't necessarily mean that He is displeased with us. It all depends on the condition of our heart and our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hud alayhi salam told them that he did not ask them for any favor or any reward. His reward was with Allah. And after he called them for a very, very long period of time, they literally got tired of him. And they said, whether you warn us or not, it is the same for us. These are tales of the past, and we will never ever be punished the way you are telling us. This was the result of their pride. A hadith tells us, and it is so important, whoever humbles himself for Allah's sake, Allah will raise his status, and whoever is proud, Allah will disgrace him. How true. Eventually, the people of Ad looked at Hud alayhi salam and said, we understand why you are crazy. Our gods, our idols have harmed you because you have insulted them. Hud alayhi salam turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he renounced his people. He knew that Allah's punishment, when it comes, it would be swift and very severe. He then called out to Allah Almighty, saying, "O Allah, assist me regarding their disbelief." He had reached a point when he knew that the people would not believe any further. Those who had to believe had believed, and it was they had transgressed absolutely, those who disbelieved. So the response came from Allah that very soon they will regret their misdeeds. The people of Ad felt that nothing ever could go wrong with their lives. And their houses, they knew, and it's a fact, their houses were very strong and built within the mountains. Their strength was so great, they could repel any power that may try to attack or destroy them. And their wealth was so much that they felt that there was no loss that would be too great for them to handle. But the punishment came. Eventually, a drought spread throughout the land. The people looked to the sky, hoping to see signs of rain, but the sky no longer sent its rain. The punishment was obvious, but still the people of Ad became more obstinate, more sarcastic, and became perverse in their unbelief. The people of Ad had never experienced such a severe drought. Hud alayhi salam told them that this was a punishment from Allah, and the drought increased. The trees turned yellow and the plants died. Then a day came when they found the sky full of clouds, dark clouds. They became very happy that the rain was going to come. The clouds were over their valleys where they used to do their plantation. So they mocked, they ridiculed, they mocked at Hud alayhi salam, saying that this was no punishment, it was the rain that was coming. To their surprise, the weather changed suddenly from burning, dry and hot to stinging cold with a howling, freezing wind that shook everything, trees, plants, tents, men and women. Hud alayhi salam, together with his followers, went into a secure place. Through Allah's decree and mercy, the wind was ordered not to affect Hud alayhi salam and his followers. The wind suddenly grew so severe that it destroyed them altogether with everything they had. The Quran tells us that after 7 nights and 8 days of destructive wind, the only thing that could then be recognized was the remains of their homes, which were built within the mountains. The huge and powerful people could be seen lying, overthrown, as if they were hollow trunks of palm trees. Allah Almighty says, "This is how we treat those who transgress." No sign of them was left. Only Hud alayhi salam and his followers remained unharmed. They migrated to Hadramaut, a place in Yemen, and lived there in peace, worshipping Allah, their true Lord. Now, this teaches us that whenever Allah has granted us anything, we should never ever allow it to make us arrogant. If this happens, it is just a matter of time, and any punishment may overtake us. Allah sends reminders to us very often, and if we continue to ignore them, thinking we know what we are doing or that it is not going to affect us, we are indeed tightly in the clutches of shaitan and treading the path of destruction. We should understand that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone who has given it to us. Any bounty, any favor, and he can take it back anytime he wishes to do so. At times, health, wealth, and other provisions of life are only a test from Allah to see how we react and change when we have got everything. Then once the test is over, all is taken away, either in this world or upon death. When death overtakes us, neither will we take with us a single penny of ours, nor will our excellent health during our lifetime come with us. What will help us if we obeyed Allah during the short stay in the world, even when we had everything? If we treated fellow human beings fairly and fulfilled their rights, even when we knew that if we oppressed them, they would not be able to do so anything about it, and they would succumb to our power and wealth, and yet we obey Allah's laws and remain humble and remain grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma ameen. Now with this, we have come to the end of the story of Hud alayhi salam, and inshallah in the next session we'll be taking the story of Salih alayhi salam, who was sent to the people of, or the tribe of Thamud, and we shall discuss it bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Till then, I bid you bye, and let's pray. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله